Mr. Chairman, this is a difficult statement for me to make today. I'm going to support the Democratic alternative. But I have been more upset by this process than anything I've been involved in the United States Senate. I've enjoyed working on this committee, working with you, working with Mr. Senator Crapo, Senator Corker. I can go down the list, Senator Toomey, Senator Moran. We have worked on issue after issue, oftentimes on legislation that has been candidly opposed by the vast majority of Democrats. Yet in this process, which we did not on our side receive the legislative draft until 10 days before the markup was scheduled. Then we got different versions of the draft depending on what kind of member you were. Then we had to finally get the draft off the public website since it was released to the press first. I think that's turned this markup into a sideshow instead of what it should be, which is granting serious relief and appropriate measures to Dodd-Frank and making sure that while we protect our consumers, we also don't put undue burdens. And so I'm going to do something that I've not done in the past. I've been frustrated time and again, but I'm not only going to oppose the chairman's mark, I'm going to oppose every amendment, and I'm going to try to use every tool that I've learned over the last 5 years, used by both sides, to make sure that this bill, as written, doesn't get to the floor and doesn't proceed. I am very, very disappointed in how this process has gone forward. I do think there are areas broader than where the Democratic alternative is offered, where we could find common agreement, and I have great respect for the chairman. But I have not seen, I thought this was one committee that would not work in the ways that so many other committees and so many other parts of this body seem to operate. So I'm a pretty disappointed senator this morning about the process, but I have great faith in so many members on the opposite side, and faith, as Senator Corker mentioned, that there is a broad bipartisan consensus to move beyond the Democratic alternative, but less than what the chairman has proposed. I actually hope that we will be able to open up the kind of, good faith conversations and not have the kind of hide the ball, hide the document, hide the information into the last moments. I don't think it is appropriate for a committee that has such stature, and I think the American people and, quite honestly, the financial institutions in trying to get this balance right deserve better. So I will be supporting the Democratic alternative, but unfortunately will be opposing every other amendment, even though many of the amendments are in areas where I think there could be common ground. And I hope, Mr. Chairman, that your comments that this is an opening point are real, because Dodd-Frank is not perfect. There needs to be perfections. But I have been more disappointed by this attempt than anything that I've been involved in this committee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.